We're working on developing pre-ex and community access as well, but right now we're just kind of stabilizing the day program and our supported employment. So that's North Star in a nutshell.
Thank you very much. Does anybody have any questions?
So, I mean, could you just, sorry, could you kind of just go through like what a typical day might look like?
Absolutely, absolutely. So the folks we work with, of course, the majority of the folks with intellectual and developmental disabilities need that structure. So we use visual schedules for all we do. We'll start our day with what I call coffee hours, kind of our gathering time, but it is an intentional time to practice social skills. Our classes start at 9:15. And each class is about 40 minutes long, social skills, exercise, health and wellness, digital, healthy digital life, and just a whole variety of things. And then, of course, what I like to call extracurricular kind of photography or art or things like that. But I really stress with my staff. And let me back up. The majority of what we do is embedded in the community. With an intent that as we get a vehicle, thank you, Tark, in the near future, more of that will be constantly in the community. But my intent with my staff is every single thing we do today, your goal is, will that person do it by themselves on a weekend? Maybe not today, maybe not next week, maybe not next year, but that is always the goal to have in mind. And so when we're talking about things like art projects, not about the project, it's about the process. Are they following directions? Are they reading a recipe? Are they, completing those tasks? Whatever their individual goals are. So yeah, 45-minute classes all throughout the day. There's some free time in the middle of the day, but unlike school, if you miss a day on Monday, we jump in where you are.
But you
I just had a comment. This morning I was talking to my OT. Like you said, we do have a lot of resources for kids, but not for
Mhm. Yeah, and it's so important that, our adults are seen and heard and understood. And, even as a special ed teacher for as long as I was, I didn't really even know that there were adult programs that existed until I kind of stumbled into one after I left JCPS. I was like, I wish I had known that for years, because that would have changed my intent with my students, in school, at Spalding, and so on.
And I also do not like to call it the day program.
High five on that.
Majority of clients are they
The majority are Medicaid. I also do a sliding scale for those who are not on a waiver. So for example, I have a young lady who's, she's trying to get on a waiver. She says, my IQ is too high. And she said, but they need to see my activities of daily living because that's where I really struggle. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna need you to go to Frankfurt and lobby with me because you're 100% correct.
Anybody else have any more questions?
Can people customize how many days a week they can?
Absolutely. I encourage, the best bang for your buck is 3 at least, but I've got, several people who just come 1 or 2 days a week. I don't think they're gonna get the best outcomes that way, but that's the part where you're an adult, you can do what you want. If you're working a couple days a week, you wanna go out with your girlfriends or boyfriends or whatever. That's how we're different from school.
Do you currently have a wait list or get over?
We're open.
Anything?
My youngest is 19, my oldest is 58, so yes, any age. And if anybody needs more folders, you're welcome to take.
And we'll make sure that the information she passed out will come to you online as well. And if you want any more information regarding, or if you want to take a tour, she would be happy to accommodate that.
Absolutely.
It was very nice. I got to go to open house when you
Yeah.
first opened, and that's where I met you. So,
That's it.
wonderful. Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks for having me.
With that, we will move on to the subcommittee updates. So transportation, Miss Dr. Lisa, do you want to go next?
Oh, perfect. Thank you, Dia. I just want to start out by saying that I am just so thankful to be able to be the lead of this transportation group and how much has helped me to grow and learn so much more about Louisville and the transportation sector. And I want to thank each and every one of the committee members. We were able to put together a pretty strong questionnaire for Ozzie Gibson, the director at TARC. So I want to go ahead and thank Councilman Scott Reed for making that connection for us and getting those things answered. We just had so many things that have come up within the disabled community about TARC 3, accessibility, what's that going to look like next year as they begin to roll out the new system with TARC and the whole bus situation. So our meetings have been quite fruitful, and I want to do a shameless plug for recruitment. John Miller just reminded me, Dr. Miller reminded me about, if there's anyone also that would like to be a part of this committee that can bring some information or solutions or just want to learn more as I'm growing and learning in this transportation sector. But we did have those questions went out. I did express to Greg if he could send those out, and they were really, really good questions. And we walked away with a lot of information. And then we also submitted the TARC's board member PDF from their directors meeting, their board meeting. And there's a lot of information there, statistics, what TARC's future is going to look like, trainings, and things that are coming up for year 2026. So that's pretty much what I have right now. And if there's any questions that I can answer or anyone that's here on the subcommittee that would like to present anything, I would ask that you do that now. I'll yield to you, Dia.
So your questions that you asked the TAR, were you surprised by any of the answers? Was anything clarified for you? Tell me about what the answers, have you received the answers yet?
Yes, we did receive those answers. They were submitted. And yes, I was surprised about a few of the answers. Uh, there was one that was a bit disappointing. Well, not so much disappointing, but very vague as the process continues with TARC 3 as far as dispatch. What is that going to look like? Any further updates about training and requirements when it comes to the request for proposal process for outside vendors, that whole process, what is that going to truly look like? And will the TARC 3 situation change anymore when it comes to fixed routes? There's still little things that need to work in that area in terms of those that live outside of fixed route service and if they'll be able to still receive that TARC 3 transportation, and also the rates of transportation, will those increase over the years? So those were just some of the gray areas that probably still for me would need to still be explained, or as we move forward, get more information about if that answers that.
and Lisa, I do have those. I didn't know if you wanted to present first or just give them out. I'll get those out with the follow-up.
Okay. I appreciate that. Yes, I don't know if we communicated that. I didn't know for those who had requested a copy, like Councilwoman Shamika Parrish Wright and others, there were a few people outside of our subcommittee that wanted those questions and answers provided to them. And so those that are sitting in the meeting today, if you care to receive those, please reach out to me, or as you said, Greg, if you can provide those, and then in our next meeting or the next time transportation subcommittee updates, we can go over those again, if that's okay.
Madam Chair, do you mind if I make a comment?
Yes.
Go ahead,
This is-
sorry, and then we'll get, somebody in the room as well. Corey had something too.
Okay,
Go ahead.
this is Councilman Reed. I had a long conversation with Ozzie Gibson. We talked quite a bit about TAR 3 in the future and the contract. And in his mind, the current situation of being able to offer transportation outside of the fixed routes is untenable financially. So I fully expect next year that we'll start seeing some degradation of services presented. He made it very clear that Target, as it is now, is losing big money. There are some ways that perhaps outside of fixed routes that things could be charged for. But it really wasn't a very pretty picture that he painted for me, and I just pretty much listened. So if anybody has any follow-up that they would like to ask him, you can go through Dr. Harris or me, and I'd be happy to present to him again. But I didn't see anything that was going to, I think, anything other than looking for really a decrease in service levels at the current reimbursement rate. And I didn't get any other feeling that they were going to also continue with the current provider, which I think is MD. Is that the name of it? So if anybody has any questions, I hate to be negative, but just send them to me, and then I can forward them on to Dr. Gibson, or we can work with Dr. Harris.
Thank you, Councilman Reed. Go ahead.
I don't know of the
I don't know if you talk about this in the committee.
or know what all
We all know you have to call TARP a day ahead of time. Sometimes you might need to ride that day.
and I have got level cab
I have called yellow cab.
for all of the cab all from the end to stop.
But all the cabs are contracted out to TARP.
Well, that might be a question to ask, right? Is that true?
I don't know. They're using. As well, or then when I mean, they sent a person to pick up positive, and then an unmarked vehicle. Yeah, I
So,
don't know where. It was to pick up someone that shares the road. Oh, in that vehicle? But
Vehicle up accessible.
yeah, so I don't know, but I don't know where they were contracted. Who were linked there.
so, so,
Park is using a lot of contract companies.
all, and only one those that the morning of golden moon.
Wondering, does that save them money or cost them? I was gonna say, I think it costs.
So Lisa, did you get all
Yes.
that? Okay.
I did not. I was gonna ask, I didn't hear the question or the discussion. I could barely hear it.
Didn't know if you, are you guys able to hear us online? Some of it.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
we
can
hear
hear you.
some
I
of
just
it.
couldn't make out, right. I just couldn't
So
make out
like
what was
me, I'm
being stated.
loud. Others are not so loud. So. But we have our note taker is actually here in the, meeting today, so he's recording
Awesome.
and getting most of it, so that'll be good. We'll get them to you, okay?
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Okay, very good. Does anybody have any questions for transportation before we let, education and employment go for the subcommittee? And we will get the questions and answers out that were already proposed to, Mr. Gibson, so everybody can have a chance to review them.
Yes, that'd be great. And thank you, Greg, for doing that.
No problems. I probably should have got it out before that, so apologize.
Okay.
No issue. Thank you.
Okay, sidebar. No, okay.
Good afternoon, everybody. Glad to give an update on the Education and Employment Subcommittee. Shout out to Dr. Lisa Harris for calling me out for being a recruiter. A little bit, but it's all good. We actually had a good meeting actually on short notice today. So this is actually very fresh. And I hope you hear excitement in my voice because I think we had a very productive meeting. The goal that we've been kind of wrestling with since July, I think you all know, certainly we all still miss Donna and her leadership. In terms of how a lot of work that we did, especially with the quick camp screenings, they had a lot of her essence in it. You know, I really lost how to say it. And so because of that, as we've now transitioned to me serving as subcommittee chair, we had a little starts and stops. And one of the things that we really wanted to make a priority was recruiting. And so I'm teasing Lisa a little bit because she actually answered the call and she's actually now on the committee. I don't know how she does it. She's in all these committees. But we actually had a couple other new members as well. So we're really excited about what we discussed today, which I will share now. And the number one thing that we discussed is that we really wanted to be able to have some momentum to actually do something the first quarter of next year. Like, let's stop talking about it, make it happen. And so we discussed and brainstormed two ideas. And the first idea that really kind of gained some traction is that we actually have an opportunity to host an event, probably do a screening, another screening. And location has been a challenge for us, thinking about the when and where to do that. And the location that we have as an option is the table. The table has a space where it can accommodate roughly 80 people. And we think it would be appropriate for our needs. The challenge with that is that that space does have a $250 fee to use the room. You can have 8 hours, but that's the fee for it. And so I'll be bringing a motion here shortly after I get a couple other announcements, requesting support from this committee to kind of give us the green light to move forward on that idea so that we can begin soliciting support to actually get the $250 for the 15th screen. The other two things are, it's actually one thing that's broken up into two parts. And this is a part of the conversation that I believe I mentioned during my last report that we discussed in July, maybe wanting to kind of bring the community together. And today we talked about a know your rights kind of form. And we began to kind of shape that form a little bit more in terms of what that could actually look like. And so we had a lively discussion and we decided that we would share with you all that what we're proposing is that we do two separate events that are still tied together with the spring. The first event will be a know your rights kind of forum. It's educational in nature in terms of letting people know their rights, but we had a really robust discussion about how different people bring their lens to that discussion and wanted to have some balance. And I think the phrase that kind of epitomizes it, that you want that event to be an event that whether you are part of our group or folks who have a heart for people living with disabilities or challenges, different level of accessibility, that we want people who care. And so we were kind of reflecting a little bit about the last camp screening that we had and the momentum, I guess the feeling in the room that day, as we had members of our community share, many people who are here in this room are there as well. What was so powerful about it is that it was sincere. And the sincerity of the lives that were touched the people who were just day folks, who just came to be there and be a part of that. I really think that we can kind of use that momentum positively moving forward. So that would be part one. We want to host an event that's kind of centered on the experiences of people in the community who may have a family member who has challenges or not. But if you are someone who cares, we want to host an event targeted for you in knowing rights so that you can help being out for others as well as yourself. That's number one. The other thing we want to do is have an event that's kind of focused on best practices or what businesses are doing from the business perspective. And so we've had a few discussions, I think even in the larger group, sometimes when it comes to ways that business is helpful, a lot of times businesses don't know necessarily how to be helpful. The ADA regulations, but beyond the ADA regulations, what does it mean to actually be an open, welcoming space for all parts of our community? So we really began that conversation today, and we are recruiting. So if you have interests, or if you know folks who are businesses or clients, or you have connections, people you think are great people for us to invite, participate on that panel, we'd love to get your input. And actually, our committee will actually now begin meeting monthly, trying to keep the momentum going so that we can do these events instead of every other month. So we will be meeting January, February, March, April, May, just to kind of keep the momentum going. And so we host these events that we have mentioned. So that was the information. Now the motion. Sorry, it was a lot. I wanted to make sure, and I got people looking at me. I want to make sure I represent it right. All right. So all that's to say, the motion is, we are proposing as a subcommittee that we get approval from this body that we can move forward with the plans to host another screening of PIP camp at the table, which we've already scouted. And that will allow us to be able to move forward with trying to garner the $250 in the table to actually go ahead and reserve the space. So that is the motion on the table from me on behalf of the education subcommittee. Education and employment subcommittee.
That's your question.
Okay.
I know when we did the showings for the camp probably in the past, we had to have special functions, which Donna had had.
Okay.
Do we need to get those again? Get that?
Uh,
I don't,
if you,
Think Stephanie has them?
Yeah.
okay, so she got those.
We should have like kind of
Transferred,
Dawn
okay.
to her,
Okay,
so that we could do that going forward.
And I would say, usually if it's for educational purposes and you're not making money on it, you generally don't need.
no, we still did, I mean,
You
I
did.
remember because we did it at the library, it was free, we still had to have the permission to
Yeah.
be able to do it in a complimentary.
Donna had secured all of that, and I think that got transferred to Stephanie, but I can check with Stephanie.
Okay, I just wanna make sure.
Yeah,
And then
I'm pretty sure that.
the table, do they have green, however we're gonna
Yes.
show it that,
I'm actually going to yield to Lisa on this one.
Okay.
Lisa actually presented the table to us as an option today and discussed it. I've been there, but I've been here as a patron. and-
I'll say, I've been there as a restaurant,
But
but
I
I
haven't
didn't
been
know.
on the other side. So
Same.
Lisa, can you chime in a little bit about the table's ability to host this for us?
Yes, that absolutely. The table has a space in the back, and gosh, forgive me, the name I call it the promise. And it's a full room that can be set up. They have tables, chairs, things like that, that we have accessibility to, but it's a clear space. And I was told they have a screen. I'm not sure where it is, but I would not have an issue on getting one or providing one to show it. But let's see. But yes, I mean the room it's a huge room in the back that they use for uh that's a all-purpose room outside of where they have the restaurant in the front of the location, if that answers that question. But we would have access to a screen. That would be an issue, one that would show it, and that would the room is really nice. It's really a great setup, a great open area to show it, to show the film.
So, and by the way, we certainly can entertain, I'm more than happy to entertain more questions. Again, this is fresh out the oven. I mean, you know,
Hmm.
of our committee having, what we're planning. We're really just looking for this group to, I guess, give us the blessing of being able to move forward with trying to secure space and getting the people. Is there a second? I guess to my.
I can't propose.
Well, I can't technically.
So I'm hearing that there's a motion. Does anybody want to second this? Okay, we got a
Second.
second. Okay, all in favor, raise your hand online here, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion is passed. We will move forward then with showing Crip Camp in the first, trying to get it
So, yeah,
quarter of the.
first quarter, I'm glad you mentioned that, so just in terms of, and I spoke a while, so forgive me if I'm repeating myself, but what I really wanted to make sure is that you all know our timeline, right? So we really wanna spend some time really working on this, making it right in December, January, and maybe in February. But if we can kind of post that event in March, And then whatever that know your rights form, there even could be a version of this where we combine the two to find out about it. This, there's a lot of different shapes we can do with it. But the goal is to have the form, post the screening of their pen, and then have that second event that we mentioned, and we wanted to get that on the table now. Because that probably won't happen until later in the year, like, in the summer months. But then, of course, our meeting attendance, our meeting skills, we really wanted to kind of let everybody know our plans. This kind of takes us up through around August. Just think of it.
And one thing we had discussed as well was securing the funds
Yes,
for securing that room, and how do we go about that? We can find someone to find a sponsor or something like that.
and I put it out there just in terms of representing the community. Our challenges that I think we face even throughout the mission is in terms of what is our burden, in terms of work that we do.
Zero.
I tried to say it, because I could, right? But I think that having an opportunity to host something like this with an ask, sometimes you have to highlight the need before it is placed as a line item. And so my hope is that from success of events like this, certainly I think our thing is to work, be able to make forward, so I would certainly like to hope you can see us have success with this. And as we move forward, and we think about the future, how we solicit support, as a mission. We can see if we can become, we can get the bottom lines as far as expected activities. Hopefully. But
Should, I will say this. But through. We have a donation in. So,
It's typically used for free.
yeah, I'd say being fair, some honest, that. But if it was something that somebody needs, space and terms of. Space, like,
We don't have, but you need to
Yeah.
coordinate HRC and when you do things like that, we have to go on, some
Yeah.
interventions.
yeah,
So,
yeah, so,
so I think we can certainly, we will brainstorm, and certainly we'll continue to brainstorm ways to do that solicitation. Now that we got the green light at the pen, in terms of it not being something that folks are on board with. But I would just encourage everybody to lean in, to share any resources with us. Certainly, I think that the momentum we can build behind this, I mean, the space was 80, if you give a room of say 30, 40, 50 people there, I think at a certain point, you begin to, build your own support. In terms of how people support the future, in terms of the board, you're having, I mean, certainly we can have some great things like this as well. So, thank you all for the time. I think about it long, so I'll stop talking to you. Thank you all.
I'm gonna add one thing. I've been texting with Stephanie not to try to, I'm doing two things at once. Stephanie does have the rights to be able to share the movie. And so she wants to, meet, quickly and to talk about it too. So I think we should just add her onto our subcommittee. So I'm gonna tell her that through text message. Sorry, I've been doing. But she does have the rights. I thought she did. I just wanted to clarify.
And just, I mean, the same folks who have been to one of these meetings before, I mean, it was great last time. We had some popcorn, some fizzy drinks, and honestly, we didn't really experience. I got a team, it was a vibe.
I mean, my biggest thing is, we have a lot of people on commission here, and I couldn't go to the second school. But I would love to make sure that everybody in our commission and in our subcommittees has at least gone to it one time and seen it.
That was our third try.
Yes.
I
I was thinking about last year.
Yeah, no worries.
But, yeah, I mean, I think,
Yeah.
if we don't at least have ourselves represented, at it, then, that's hard, but,
Yeah.
so I'd like to encourage, to make sure everybody is on it. At least once.
Yeah. Of course.
Wherever we do,
But there can go of with,
We need to invite the council member of that district. We do.
and, or the, the,
The state rep. The state rep, the state rep. Well, they're trying to figure out who the council is. But also they send the state rep. Yeah. So what I'm hearing you say is maybe we should invite everyone that has a representation of
Yeah.
the district.
or, so, I, you, please, on the,
I remember when we were working on the first one.
the candle at the boat,
Council had a problem.
and also,
No, it's just. Sorry, with the what?
above,
With the flyer. Oh, they thought. It was, yes, you're absolutely correct. They thought we were doing gang
That
signs.
was not the most recent one, that was the one before.
The actors theater.
With the interpretation of the goal.
You're absolutely correct.
We need to educate them.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Yes, yes. Where you are, your Tim's are good.
So hopefully, if you didn't hear that online, we were talking about, the fact that, at one of our showings, we did get talked to by, I think it was Metro, it was. Anyway,
Bro.
Metro Council thought that we had, put gang signs on our flyer, and we did not. We were including the fact that we were doing sign language interpretation at the meeting, and so the universal, it's universal, anyway. So, and we will do that again, but that, we want to invite all council members, we want to invite district members, we want to invite state representatives. I think we're gonna start a movement for it, right? We're gonna start a movement, it's gonna cross the state to educate people.
Yes.
Yes, okay. Anyway, all right, so that's, so she's like, texting me back. I will answer that in just a minute. All right, thank you. Anybody have any more questions for Dr. Miller? Dr. Miller, do you have anything else you want to add? So sorry.
I have a comment.
Okay, there you go.
Oh, I had a quick comment. This is Dr. Lisa. I can
Yeah.
coordinate that effort within our district, District 43. I have a close communication with Councilwoman Donna Purvis, and then also the state reps, the candidates that are running. So that is definitely my desire to educate our district and other districts outside about those things that are applied, that are applicable to the disabled community, the rights, and having these town halls and panel discussions. So thank you for putting that out there and adding that to the conversation.
Yeah, I didn't have anything else to say, just thank you all. I think people are excited, right? I think we're really excited about this, what we're trying to do, and so, it's a great group of folks, a great group, so again, excited, and, what we're doing, so we'll see how these things, turn out.
Yeah, I think as an educational piece, I think trying to actually just maybe once a year. And then a good start, and I think we should have. We did it, and it was a lot, but we did it, we got it done. Yes. But we got it done, and then it had been, what year was the library? It was.
Like early.
It was like,
So it felt like almost 2 years.
as a commissioner, I think.
And the HRC normally, to give them all that too, if you want permission.
As soon as we have a date, and since we have a location, and if we get a time, then we need to put it out in this mass alliance.
We can make it flyer.
That's just one of the things we put on the back of our burner. Yes, but I mean, just to get it out sooner than later, and then to let it blast it out, because otherwise. We'll try to get as much attendance as we can get. I would love to fill 8, That would be nice.
Yeah,
When we had it at Actors Theater, Tallery, I would have loved to have seen that whole thing built.
yeah.
And so, yeah, we did. And we did all three sessions, so. But,
We should be able to have a strong, committee, I think, by February.
Yeah.
It's gonna be again, January, we're hoping to have a really strong up there, everybody.
thank you so much.
You know, they are an actors theater, what I visit, they're having,
Tallery,
Yeah.
Tallery up here is
oh,
Actors
she's
Theater,
like,
yes.
so maybe we could have that'd be great if we could have the flyers to give out at that event. I mean, that would be another thing like that work.
Valerie, did you hear that?
So I know that Actors Theater is doing the holiday events. And they're allowing people to have booths and stuff that support people with disabilities. And so I thought maybe we could have the flyers at the table that night.
Absolutely. Flyers are very easy to share. So if there are any flyers, you can email me and we can figure out a way for pickup and get them to be at Actors Theater. Flyers are very easy to do.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm saying, I don't think we're close to ready for a flyer.
Yeah.
I think we need to do so much planning, but I think that my goal is to have us ready to have everything ready by February. That way we've already kind of planned and set a date, because again, the goal is to do it well. And it's not for me to, but for us, for the momentum and traction part of it, I mean, we can have this done by the end of March. That way you have the proper build up, movement, and then you got to do, and then that's one thing done, and then we can roll that momentum into the really long forms. So that's our hope.
But one thing I just thought of is that we could put at the Tallery, we could at a table, put this flyer, which would be good.
Yeah.
So, and I'm holding up the flyer that represents Louisville Metro Commission for Persons with Disabilities about us, what our purpose is. We could put that at the Actors Theater that night.
That would be great. Yeah.
I need to.
Okay.
What? Oh, no, you're talking about.
The thing is,
You're going to that, okay. Okay.
Like Craig and I talked about it, but I don't remember.
It was go.
Which one I'm doing.
So we will have a table there.
So yeah, I'll make sure.
Yeah. Okay, that sounds great. Yeah. Right. So
Roseanne,
thank you.
I'm I'm just connecting with Actors Theater about something else. So remind me the date and time of the event that you're speaking of, and I'm just curious to see if I'm also working on an event at Actors Theater this month. I just don't know if it's the same one.
Craig, what's the date? December 10th,
December 12th.
12th? That's it's 10.
10.
December 10th.
Great. That's the conversation I'm working on. So it's all aligned. Okay, great. I love it when that happens.
I'll be there, Tallery, for the Office for Aging and Disabled Citizens. So
That
I'm
sounds
tab-
great.
Yeah, I'm tabling for them too, so.
Awesome. Great. Thank you, everyone. That was great. Anybody have anything else? Court? Do you have any media connection? Oh, yeah, that would be good. I'm a member of the High Learning. You put on the same package there for you? All that week, there's someone on one of the morning shows. Like Wayne Green?
Yeah.
So Wayne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, we'll see if we, that'll be just another thing later that we add
Yeah.
to our.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well, media the heck out of it. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Anybody have any other comments for education and employment ideas? Nope. On any new business or announcements? Yeah.
I just wanted to add that I will be sending out the invite for 2026 for all our meetings. You don't have those on your calendar yet, but I should get them out next day or two. The other thing is, I guess I wanted to let you all know I've done second, I guess, interviews with our program, this DICE, Disability, Inclusion, Culture, and Education on Metro TV. That'll be coming out. Call it our winter edition because it's all about snow removal on roads and sidewalks.
Yeah.
Parking lots.
Parking lots, we don't really have one common representative for that, so, but yeah, letting them know. Anyway, hopefully that'll be coming out on Metro TV by the end of the week.
When you send out.
I can send it out, just don't criticize the other.
Okay, any public comments? Anybody else have any new business or announcements? Sorry, before I move on, up on, okay, Valerie?
Okay, now that I know it's the same event, so on Wednesday, December 10th at Actors Theater of Louisville, there's a community conversation after the show that talks about a little bit about representations of disability in the play and also connects it to what we can do as community members. So if you're planning on attending, great. If not, I will send information on the email. But it is also just really exciting to announce that we have 2 young performers with disabilities that are sharing the role of Tiny Tim this year. So we've got disability representation in the play, which doesn't always happen with A Christmas Carol. So sharing that.
Thank you. Any public comments? Right,
Did not have any.
I have 257. Oh, isn't this? Somebody in this room is turning, I don't know what year it is,
21?
but 25 again,
Yes.
something like
Plus
that.
five.
Or no, I know,
Plus five.
30, is turning 30 again, times 2.
There you go.
There you go.
Greg, happy birthday.
So everyone wish, Mr. Allgood a happy birthday tomorrow. Yay!
Yay, happy birthday.
Thank you very
Happy
much.
birthday.
Okay.
Happy birthday.
That was our public comments for today.
We'll put that on the media, right, Corey?
That's it.
Very good, okay.
Take a chair.
All right, so I need a motion to go ahead and adjourn the meeting if there's nothing else. Okay, second it. All right, thank you, everybody. We are done with our meeting for the month of December. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, happy Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate. Appreciate you
Merry
all.
holidays.
Yes. Thank
Yes,
you. Be
thank
safe.
you.
Holidays.
Okay, thank you.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, yes.
Yes.
So let me just get you with your phone.
So they hand out the.
So I can just put it- They still use some of these things, and I figured that's what I need. But I probably will go to credit for it, gives me access to it. Instead I need to go to the price. It's just like, I'm trying to figure, hey, that's me first, right? With the software, then I get you to the options, and you're like, that's the option. So deep. That.
Yeah, that's what I was doing. I just treat several meltdowns. Then I'll call.
So you're just right about these.
No. Yeah.
You know. I think she-
She's already.
Yeah, it works.
One, take it to 21.
Yeah, it's saving time.
All the big changes.
That's kind of the main. This going to 21. And so they probably were calling it like, he's going to send us the blood.
Yes, thank you so much. It was amazing.
In the storage. I've been right there.
Yeah, I get all this. Okay. Yeah, my.
You know. Technology.
It's good to meet you, Lori. I'm Joanna. Yeah, people say day program, I'm not. Not that. Yeah, you know where, Southeast Christian is, across county during the public area. Is no. Absolutely. And if I don't get to the house, call, let me know. Yeah, exactly. Sell on there.
Oh, yeah, yeah, no, I'm sure it'll be first that way.
So it works.
I'll be, that'll be my.
You got it. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. I feel that's how.
Yeah.
So this was in stuff.
Yes. What was it saying?
Yeah.
That was.
But yeah, and she probably, if she makes the connection, I was like.
Sorry, guys, for.
Hey, how's that one?
That's it. That's what I see.
Let's fresh my mind. I think if you're scheduled.
Can't wait. Have a good one.
Well, it's
Really cool. You guys would like
Because I mean, I toured Barber House.
And then talking with, we had our last discussion. I print out a sample ballot for the participants at my place, so you know, super good, and like, do you have any questions, do you want to put up information? And, then we said, well, you guys had to response. And so like immediately, I was like, yeah, we gotta change that, like, 40 years ago. So here.
People like to use anyhow.
So.
There are statutes and stuff.